What's going on, guys? This is Rob. If you guys enjoy my content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that little bell so you never miss out on my sexy voice. Okay, so I've been thinking about this for the last couple days or so, and my question here is, can Aquaman kill the DC universe? And when I say the DC universe, I mean like the most prominent heroes, right? I mean, he could kill like a lot of different people, but the most prominent heroes. So like Superman, Shazam, Batman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, any one of the Green Lanterns. We'll say that Hal Jordan is the only Green Lantern on Earth, just to make it easy. But my question is, can Aquaman kill them all? All right, now, Aquaman by himself? Probably not. But Aquaman with help can definitely do it. And here's the reason why. It would take Aquaman and then Mera, his wife, and then the Drift in order to pull it off. Now, for those guys who don't know what the Drift is, the Drift are like the Atlantean Black Ops team. They're like they're super high-end Black Ops soldiers. They're designed to kind of go through and commit certain acts and do things that are supposed to, for the most part, be kept off the radar. But here's the thing. In order for Aquaman to destroy the entirety of the DC universe, like to kill all the most prominent superheroes, it would take like surgical precision, right? Like it would have to be planned out. Aquaman couldn't just get mad one day and just be like, blarg, I'm gonna kill everybody, you know, and then just attack everyone and then win. There are ways to do it and there are ways to get around it, but still, we're not necessarily gonna go with like the Dark Knight's metal version of Aquaman, where that, I guess really Aquawoman, that, you know, version of Bruce Wayne who is a chick that became Aquawoman. We're not gonna go with that. We're gonna go more with like the Aquaman himself, like the main Aquaman, Arthur Curry. Now, here's the thing. Something would have to happen to set this off, right? Like, let's say that like Aquaman overhears all the Justice League and they're like, yeah, man, Aquaman talks to fish, which is true, but he doesn't like hearing it. He's just like, he's like Aquaman fans. He just doesn't like to hear the fact that he talks to fish, even though it's true. We all know it's true. But for the character of Arthur, this would take like a planned out thing. So he hears them like saying, oh yeah, you know, Aquaman talks to fish. And he's like, that's the last straw. And he freaks out. You know, he's like, oh, mighty Neptune, like they're all going to perish. All right, from there, he would have to gather the Drift and he would have to start going through and individually taking out the various heroes. But it would have to be done in a way to where nobody else knew what was really going on. Like someone like Martian Manhunter, he can be taken out in the blink of an eye. All you have to do is just show fire. Just be like, oh, here's a Zippo lighter, Martian Manhunter. He's like, oh, you know, and he's like, fire, my only weakness, you know, and then he would run or do whatever he does or something along those lines. But in all seriousness, taking out Martian Manhunter, taking out Green Lantern, and taking out Wonder Woman, those would be the three hardest, if I'm being honest with you guys. For Superman, that would be super easy. It would just take Aquaman running up on him with kryptonite, like getting his hands on green kryptonite in some way. And there's all kinds of places you can find it. LexCorp has it, Amanda Waller in the Suicide Squad have it. I mean, he could send the Drift in as this Black Ops team, just have him like invade, you know, some place, or even go through and access like the Justice League Watchtower and like snatch some green kryptonite and then literally keep it on his person so that when he encounters Superman, his powers are basically gone and he kills him with a trident and that's it for him. So Superman's done and out of the picture. The issue with that is that would have to be done in a way that's kind of off the reservation, right? Like he would have to contact Superman and say, hey, I need you to come to Atlantis. I need to talk to you about something, because Superman's a big name. And so it would literally have to be a thing of, you know, like him contacting the Justice League and saying, hey guys, Superman's going to be off for a little bit. He and I need to have a conversation. We're talking about the relations between like the surface world and the Atlantean world or something along those lines. Something that seems innocuous. So the Justice League wouldn't have a reason to question what's going on, because if they start to wonder and start to question, things could go south. Now, that would lead to Batman beginning to suspect something, because Batman's always suspicious, right? Like Batman's, like he never trusts anybody. He's like the ultimate cynic, trust issues galore. And so Batman sits down and he would say, okay, what if there's something going on here? Like Aquaman never invites Superman. He never invites anybody from the Justice League to Atlantis. That almost never happens. So what if there's something going on? I better use, you know, my prep time and spy, because, you know, prep time, excuses, whatever. All right, at that point, it would that's when you implement the Drift. That's when you would send the Drift in and you would have Arthur Curry say, hey, look, here are the weaknesses of the Batcave, assuming he knows them all. Or he would say, the identity of Batman is Bruce Wayne. And so Wade, like he would probably kind of like schedule it, right? So he would say, okay, so when Bruce Wayne is out doing his own thing and he's doing the whole business thing, that's when Superman gets recalled. That's when the Drift are sent out and they take out Bruce Wayne. Like they just orchestrate an assault on him. And so it's just like, okay, he's taken out, he's eliminated. Now by that point, assuming that happens, the surface world begins to ask questions, because they say, okay, this is Bruce Wayne who was taken out in broad daylight by what are obviously members of the Atlantean community. And that's when, like by that point in time, Superman's dealt with and done. Like he's gone and out of the picture. So because the surface world begins to wonder what's going on, that leads to like the Flash intervening and Wonder Woman intervening, the Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. They all basically begin to show up and they start asking questions. Enter Mera. This is really when Mera, I think, like shows her full force, because for someone who can control water the way she does, she's far more dangerous than people think she is. One thing to bear in mind when it comes to Wonder Woman is she can hold her breath for a very long time. So she's very, very capable in that regard. She can just hold her breath until the powers of Mera die down or whatever the case may be, or she can just fly out of the water or something like that. So Wonder Woman's going to be difficult to capture there. Green Lantern, it's much the same way. Green Lantern could create like a bubble around himself that would basically shield him and allow him to breathe inside of it, or he could fly away too or something along those lines. So they become dangerous. The Flash could be easily dealt with. Mera could take him out in the blink of an eye. We know that from Justice League versus Suicide Squad, when Amanda Waller's answer for subduing the Flash was to encase him in water so that he couldn't run. There was nothing for him to run on. He was in a liquid surface. Now that is, of course, assumes that you don't run with the Francis Manipool, no pun intended, you don't run with the Francis Manipool New 52 Flash story where they said he can basically run on crystallized air when it's at a high enough altitude and water vapor freezes and like run on that and so on. Like, assuming you don't go with that, something that's just kind of out of the middle of nowhere. I mean, I'm sure Flash fans will. They'll look for like any reason to make sure their character wins. But for the most part, Flash would just kind of be stuck because there's nothing for him to make momentum out of. I guess he could start spinning and maybe that would superheat the water. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, that's entirely possible, convert it into steam. But from that point, like that's when you literally get into like the rest of the drift and you get into Aquaman himself facing off against everybody. Now, Aquaman's danger really comes in the form of his trident. I mean, he is super fast in the water. He can swim at like, I want to say he can swim at what's basically 6,800 miles per hour underwater. So whatever that equates to in feet per second. At least that was according to the pre-New 52 version. But still, you would basically have Aquaman intervene with his trident. Now, with him showing up to his trident, or with his trident, he could in turn do the exact same thing Orm did in Throne of Atlantis, where the fight kind of leads to the surface. He uses his trident, he controls the storms. Lightning rains down on like Martian Manhunter, and it rains down on Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. It rains down on the Flash and Wonder Woman. Now, from there, things get pretty simple, right? Like you literally thin the herd. Like when you're talking about something like electricity or fire, like he could use enough of that to kill almost all of them. Wonder Woman is highly durable. And assuming that the Green Lantern didn't get his shield up fast enough to protect himself before he was actually struck by lightning, then he would be down too. And so that I would say would probably leave Wonder Woman left. And Wonder Woman, she's, I would say, the most dangerous member of the Justice League because she has no true weakness. That's the thing about Wonder Woman. She doesn't have a kryptonite. She doesn't rely on something like the Green Lantern ring to give her powers. She's just inherently powerful. And so it's like Superman without kryptonite. And so from there, like it would really come down to like a battle between the two. The fact that she can't really be caught, like she can't really be encased in water, super strength and speed and durability and all this kind of, at least somewhat durability. It would just come down to a fight. Like it would just come down to a fight between Wonder Woman and Aquaman. If I'm a betting man, I would give the fight to Wonder Woman just because she can do a lot of the things that Aquaman can't. She's far faster than he is. She's stronger than he is, and she can fly faster than he can. I don't even think he can fly. Like she can fly. I mean, there's a lot of things that she brings to the table that Aquaman just can't do. I mean, honestly, she might be able to grab him and just fly him up into the middle of nowhere. But at that point, we're also leaving out the Drift and we're also leaving out Mera. Between all three groups, if we say the Drift, Mera, and Aquaman, Wonder Woman falls. There's no way she can, I don't think she can stand against all three because you'd be talking about her facing off against the Atlantean Black Ops team. You'd be talking about her facing off against Mera, who controls water. And then you'd be talking about her facing off against Aquaman with the power of storms, because of his trident and so on and so forth. She's capable, but I don't think she's that capable. I mean, we could include other people like Billy Batson, like Shazam, but you could have the Drift take him out when he's just Billy, when he's just a little kid and he's just done in the blink of an eye. I don't really know what direction that you would go with Wonder Woman. I would give the fight to her. I would say Wonder Woman could beat Aquaman, but I don't know if she could beat all three. But again, the Drift are capable, but those seem almost like foot soldiers. It'd be like saying the Ninja Turtles would lose against the Foot. Nobody would believe that. So I don't know. I'm curious. I'm gonna leave it to you guys because I'm curious. Do you think that Wonder Woman could defeat the Atlantean Black Ops team and Mera and Aquaman at the same time? Do you think she can pull it off? I don't think she could. And even then, like we're not even really giving it like a ton of thought. I mean, we could sit down and like map it all out and we could like compare powers and all that kind of stuff. Because I think Martian Manhunter may be taken out by lightning, but probably not because he is super durable and super strong. I mean, he's more powerful than Superman if you believe the old Grant Morrison JLA comics. So like Martian Manhunter himself may still be around, and with heat vision and so on and so forth and all those things, like he could just turn the water to steam and just like superheat, like overheat Aquaman, destroy the Drift, just shoot lasers through them. So if Martian Manhunter and Aquaman and Wonder Woman were left, they could easily destroy Aquaman, the Drift, and Mera. They could destroy them all single-handedly. And Martian Manhunter could probably do it by himself, just by shape-shifting and turning into different things and using his telepathy and so on and so forth. I mean, that would be the big kicker, is like being able to orchestrate the attacks, like being able to orchestrate with Wonder Woman reading his mind and the two of them acting in a way where like Aquaman and Mera and the Drift don't know what they're doing. Then like at that point, they would all fall. But I don't know. I mean, we're also leaving out like a bunch of other heroes too. We're leaving out like a bunch of other characters. I don't know. I mean, it gets kind of crazy. I'd be curious to see what you guys think. I feel like I should send this to my writer and have him like flesh the whole thing out and literally like tell the whole story. Like send it to Ryan. I haven't given him any assignments for a while. Send it to Ryan, have him flesh the whole thing out, and then come to a conclusion on what, like, who would actually win. Like write the whole story out and then go from there. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have him research everybody, write the whole story out, and then go from there. Because I'm just kind of doing this off the top of my head. But if you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and I will catch you all later. Peace.